When I was little, my dad would take me down to this old creek that ran behind our house. It had a warm summer air that blew around it, and the water was crystal clear. It opened into a river a ways down, and we would walk along the bank together, feeling that cold water beneath our feet. Sometimes it would seem like time was standing still. The water just seemed to keep flowing on and on, steady as time itself. My dad used to love skipping stones too. We would search for the perfect stone, and sometimes that was just as fun as skipping the stones themselves. I used to think I could skip mine further than him, but looking back, I think he was just letting me win. Every time that I see water now, it takes me back to those times that we spent together. And one time I went out too deep. I tried to see what was below the surface, but I lost my footing and fell in. I couldn't swim, but I wasn't afraid either. I knew my dad was close by and he would come and save me. Sure enough, he was there. He was always there. But sometimes I can't help but wonder, what would have happened if he wasn't around? Would anyone be there to save me, or would I drown? Time kept flowing forward, and before long, that current carried me straight towards the love of my life. Jody and I were high school sweethearts. She was always there for me when I needed her, just like my mom and dad had been. Jody and I were inseparable through thick and thin. We knew we were meant for each other right from the start. It didn't take me long to know that I had to make her mine. So I dropped to one knee and I asked her to be my wife forever. And in that moment, you couldn't find a happier man in the whole world. Before long, it was time to start our own family. First, God gave us Lawson, and then a few years later, he blessed us with Bella. Lawson was full of imagination and energy, and Bella was our little princess. Life was steady as ever, and my heart felt like it was overflowing sometimes. We kept heading gently downstream with God carrying us peacefully in the right direction. Or so I thought. But then I got the phone call that would change everything. I never saw it coming. Not like this. Not now. I almost thought I was dreaming, because nothing seemed real. I had a few drinks on the way to the graveyard, and I remember this weight that I felt every step I took towards the headstone. In an instant, my dad was gone, taken from me. And then I pulled out an old picture of us together, and it all came crashing down. My dad wasn't there to save me. He never would be again.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, it's me. Where are you? I never know where you are or what you're doing. She won't pick up the phone. The kids are asking about you. I don't know what to tell them. Something's different about you, and I don't like what I'm starting to see. I miss you. I know it's a heavy thing to lose your dad, but your behavior is drowning our whole family. We need to stay united. Please come home. Please. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
And she was right. I had changed. The day my dad died, I think something inside of me died too. I had to find some way to drown the sorrow, and I found it in the bottom of a bottle. The truth is, it worked. I learned how to numb my pain. I could feel myself drowning, struggling to survive. I did my best to try to hide it from Jody, Lawson, and Bella, telling myself that I had it under control. But it wasn't long before they saw me for who I was. I was no longer a dad or a husband. I was an addict, and I was drowning. Then came the day I'll never forget. It started like any other. My family was around me, but on the inside, it was chaos. It built up inside until I couldn't keep it down any longer. The seizure changed everything. I scared Jody to death, and the kids were traumatized. And Jody was the only person to come visit me. And in that moment, she knew just how far gone I really was. It was right then that she decided she was done. I woke up alone, nothing left to lose. So I started drinking the second I left the hospital. I nearly killed someone by almost running them off the road. I couldn't think straight, let alone even see straight. I just wanted to get home. I felt like I would lose them if I didn't get home fast enough. I remember my heart racing as I got closer. I could see them waiting for me. I wanted so badly to hold them and just tell them that I love them. And right when I held out my hand, I fell out. And everything went black. And that was the last time I would see my kids. But I had no choice. If I didn't get help, I was going to lose my family. It was the longest car ride of my life. We had heard about a place called No Longer Bound, and it was my last chance to change, to turn my life around once and for all. I remember being nervous walking into that room. I knew I would have to face myself and all my mistakes. But more than my fear, I knew I needed to be rescued. I needed someone to save me and to pull me out. So I surrendered. We walked out to the car together and we were both scared, but I was ready. Jody looked me in the eye and said it was my last chance. We hugged one last time and I told her goodbye for now. I turned and walked down the hill, hopefully towards a brand new life. I knew right away that I was in the right place. The people here seemed to care. And more than that, they loved me, even when I couldn't love myself. I thought about Jody every minute of every day. I missed my son and my baby girl. I talked about them every chance that I got. I'll never truly know how hard it must have been for them. But they kept waiting and praying for their daddy to get better. And God must have heard them because I started getting better. I learned how to laugh again, how to cry again, how to feel again, and how to live again. But most importantly, I met Jesus at No Longer Bound. But but I wasn't whole yet. I needed my family back. And all of a sudden, there she was, as beautiful as ever. I was finally whole again. I was no longer bound. Life was steady as ever. For the first time in a long time, I was home. Everything seemed lighter, brighter, and believe it or not, easier. And even when my past would try to pull me back down, I had something more to live for. My addiction was dead and gone. God had answered our prayers.
Lord, just thank you for bringing Daddy back and bringing him home safely. And now he's back and our family's whole, and now he's here to do fun stuff with us and just play with us. And he can be here to do devotion, and just now we can have good times with him. And now I'm just glad he's here to tuck us in our beds. And thank you for Mom and Lawson, and just thank you for all we have, and especially Daddy, and now he's back. Amen.
But the story doesn't end there. God didn't just wash away my addiction. He used it for a purpose. He didn't just restore what I had before. He created something brand new. One day my son came to me and said he wanted to be baptized. When I asked him why, I'll never forget what he told me. With a look of hope in his eyes, he said, I want to get to know the God that saved my daddy. And in that moment, I saw the reason for my addiction and the beauty of it. It was a rocky path, but it brought us together. Feeling that cold water flowing beneath our feet. And it would seem like time was standing still. I could feel my dad smiling down on us. Those waters that almost drowned me were the same waters that God used to wash my sin. This story is our story. Like it or not, we are all in this together. We are not alone in the fight. In some way or another, we all bear the scars of addiction. By ourselves, we might not be able to fix this world. But what if together we could change everything? They say that one voice for change is a raindrop, but a community for change is a waterfall. I know that without the love and support of my entire community, I wouldn't be standing reunited with my family today. I am Brad Sapp, and I am no longer bound.